Hello and welcome to Cathy Paints. I'm Cathy Wappel and I will be painting Reaper miniatures. Actually, I'll be painting 3 Reaper minis and 1 Raging Heroes mini. I had to think for a second. Yes, it is a Raging Heroes mini. And I have a fresh new palette. Well, it was fresh new last night before our paint party. Our little, we do a Monday night paint chat in my friend's Discord. So, hello, the real brush guy. How are you? So, she's almost done. This all seems very dark to me. I think I need to adjust my something. Brightness? Thank you for the host. Well, that's just hanging about there longer than I expected it to. That's funny. So I think I want to make this brighter, I guess. Just look very dark. Yeah, that's looking a lot closer. I just bumped the brightness up to like 63%. Normally it's just at 50. Well, usually I have to bump it up a couple. But yeah, which means I have to bump the color intensity up, because if I bump the brightness up, that means that it loses intensity. So then I have to adjust that too. Welcome to Cathy making adjustments on her camera. Hey, Sibstorm. Hey, Dio. Dio says, is it hot in here or is it just Cathy Wappel? Dio, man, you're making my glasses steam up last night. Brush Guy says, haha, now it shows an ad on your stream hosting you. Hey, that's what we're here for. We're here to yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything. Hey, it's Liam. Hey, inventory full. How are you? Oh, Real Brush Guy contributed to the Read Me a Chapter, Please challenge. Thank you very much for that. So the Read Me a Chapter challenge, instead of being canceled, has been extended. So all the channel points are still there for that. And Read Me a Chapter is... I could make this less convenient. Read Me a Chapter is... Let's see what chapter we're on. Chapter 9 of At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. Ooh, thanks, Dio. We will get to the end of this book eventually. We will get to the end of it. See, now my brightness seems too bright. Tone that down a little. It's just going to be one of those days. Dio. Thanks, Dio. Yes, Liam, you missed Cathy painting penises last night on the Discord. It was only one. You make it seem like there was a bunch of them. I mean... Okay, I'm done. Yes, Storm's right. If you've painted one penis, you've painted them all, really. Actually, that's not entirely true. Right, yeah. No more giggling. Streaming is a serious business. No more giggling. See you later, Dio. Yeah, that was fun last night. In the Pyro Club Discord, which I don't have a link to. Otherwise, I would share one. Every Monday night, we have a little paint party in a voice chat. And I was painting this guy. He's a satyr. And, you know, satyrs, they don't wear pants. Yeah, Dio was scandalized beyond all reason. Sat in I didn't spend a half an hour on that. Besides, sometimes you just have to stroke the nethers. Yeah, no more giggling. No more giggling today. Streaming is serious. It's like I said to the real brush guy. Uh, very serious business. No giggling. Oh my gosh, could you imagine a channel point? Could you imagine one of those channel point things where you, like, instead of banning words, right? You can't laugh. I mean, I said sometimes you just have to stroke the nethers. And you know what? The first time I said that was in Gren's stream months ago when she was painting. I think it was a ritual casting model, or possibly it was Dices. You know what? Could have been either one. Could have been either one. One in the morning, one in the afternoon. Could have been both. Oh, you were asked. Oh, thanks, Dio. It could have been both. It could have been Gren and Dices. One right after the other. I see what you were saying, Dio. Asking the real brush guy to add the quote. Sipstorm says, I've been super lazy. I'm 3D printing stuff, so I don't have to clean out the resin vat. That seems good. That's good, right? That's a good thing. What all are you printing? Just how many things are you printing? Oh, yeah. Yeah, the real brush guy did come up in conversation last night. That's true. Dio says, and I missed this right after it was Randy, which I also missed somehow. It was a very Randy evening, but it always is. You just can't leave any of us alone together. It was Max's fault. It's a good thing I hadn't been drinking anything at that moment. Anyways, just painting, serious business, streaming, serious business, no laughing. No jokes. So naturally. Sivstorm says, I printed out a piece I'm going to attempt to paint for Reprecon. A fun personal piece, a mini and base to send to you, and a Buck Rogers Thunder Fighter. Ooh, Buck Rogers, like from the TV show? I mean, well, there was a comic. There's like a cartoon or something, right? I don't know. I remember watching the series and loving it. All right, so we need to. The best thing about Buck Rogers was Wilma. So, I look back on that and I don't disagree with that. But at the time I was watching it, she was not the best thing about Buck Rogers, Dio. But that's just my opinion. But I can understand why you would think so. Oh, it's Sibstorm that's doing the. It's Sibstorm that's doing the Thunder Fighter. What scale? Brush Guy wants to know what scale you're printing it in. That was. Wait, that was a different show? Oh, Wilma. Wilma! Yeah, that is a different show. Although now in my head, I'm seeing Buck Rogers as Fred Flintstone. Sibstorm didn't scale it to anything specific. He picked a good size and went with that. Okay, so instead of air, this is going to be water. So we are going to make it blue. We're going to make it into water. Right now. I have blue already on my palette. It's just the Reaper Clear blue. It's not the Phthalo blue or anything. And I think maybe I need to throw some. No, I have green out there. I have green out there too. Get all my classic favorite clear colors. I mean, there's only 9 clear colors, so chances that I have them, any one of them on my palette at a given time, are pretty good. I don't have all 9 of them out on my palette right now. Right now I have only the blue and the green. All the other colors are mixes from last night. Brush Guy says, I always wanted a Thunder Fighter as model kit. There was once a plastic kit, but I could never get it in Germany. My Thunder Fighter is going to be 4 to 6 inches long, says Sidestorm. I wasn't laughing. You were laughing. They all circle back. They always do. It's not my fault. Dad says Cathy's going to spend days glazing that Thunder Fighter too. Oh yes, I am, Dio. Yes, I am. No, the Thunder Fighter is not for me. I don't need to know these things. I need to know these things about my starships. My friends' starships. Stop it. You people. You people. See, those little emotes just look like bomb pops. You know? You go to the ice cream man. Remember back in, they still sell them, I think. Bomb pops. You know what I'm saying? The popsicles. You know what? It just doesn't get better. It gets only worse. The more I explain about that, then the worse it gets. So I'm just going to be quiet. Yeah, water ice rockets. Well, no, they have red tips actually. They look just like that emote. It's like cherry red. It really only gets worse the more I talk. And I have some white on the palette, so we're making bleen. V's not here yet, but we're making bleen. Brush Guy says, I remember we had to sort with the chocolate covered tip. Ooh. Chocolate covered tip. Sibstorm says, a news article I am looking at. Chelsea Handler is vaccinated, horny, and probably a little high. Why? Why? Also, who's Chelsea Handler? She is a comedian. Oh, okay, well that explains it. No, these are some nice watercolors. And by watercolors, I don't mean the type of paint. I mean like these colors that I've mixed here. So this is Bleen. This is Reaper Clear Green, Reaper Clear Blue, and a little bit of white. This one had some orange mixed in with it from last night, so it's got a bit of a... Plus there's more green in it than blue. This one has more blue in it. Chelsea Handler is like a shock comedian. Are you done with the other two? I am not done with the other two minis, Cybestorm. Nope. Nope. Also this guy. So she's really close to finished. And we were working on her hair last week. So we probably would be working on her hair right now, except I need to finish the water on her. And then she is also close to finished. So, well, you said he was a he and you're sending me a girl model, so I assume that you thought he was too manly to be female. So now he's a he. See? See? That's how that works. Rush Guy says I picked up some cheap 2K epoxy 20 minutes glue at Lidl today. It was just $2.99. That's cool. What will you be using it on? It was just $2.99. Is that really cheap for it? Oh, at the base of the bust. Okay. So water. Closing the gap. Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. Closing that gap underneath. Oh, Streamlabs just said tips are always appreciated, especially if they're chocolate. Just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Just saying. There is a new shirt too. Captain Mizzy designed it. All right, let's just throw oh, maybe I want to throw some darker color in here. Dark underneath, dark down at the bottom. Zipstorm, did you have a time in mind where you would, you know, want these specifically? Because if you need them sooner, I can always, do some painting on them off stream too. Now the part that I want to be closer to her dress, I want to be more blue, so it's a bit of more of a contrast to the green of the dress. Because this green blue color is a little similar. And also maybe I want to desaturate the color of the water a bit too. Because see how saturated and intense the color of the dress is? So if the water is less saturated color, then that's going to be another way of contrasting these two different surfaces. I'm also trying not to get this on the base. And it looks like there's a couple places I really need to shove this color into. So we get a good start on the base, on the colors for the water. already looking watery. Sibstorm says I clicked on the donation link for a 401. Sorry, you're not authorized. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'll have to let Gonzo. Uh, I'll have to let Gonzo know. He is the one who sets all that stuff up. Thank you for letting me know. Sibstorm says, well, before we complete Dungeons of the Mad Mages, which we are of 23 levels, which we are on 3. Hey, Acid Burn Punk. Daz says, besides Sibstorm, Cathy has to paint me a mini, and she said I was her highest priority. I said, yes, you are my highest priority after I finish Sibstorm's models. I know, Dio, but you know what? You're in front of the penis. Just thought you might like to know that. I just thought you'd like to know where you stand. You cannot move. You're just there. You know what? Relax. You'll enjoy it. I promise. Just saw that I had to get in here. There we go. Bleaker Dragon. Dio says, the last time someone said that to me, I woke up in a Turkish gulag with a tattoo on my ass cheek. But you had a good time, didn't you? V, how are you? And V was there. V is home from reading her dad's watercolor supplies. Oh, coolio. V, where is he? Where is he? It is a whale. It's my whale shark. Whale shark. There was one! There was one! Only one. See, right, V? V's like, I don't know why you're shocked by it, Dio. Yeah, he is so sensitive. Whoops. It's a good thing the crossbar on this table is soft, otherwise I'd have a bruise on my knee. Dio needed to take his meds. Oh my goodness. He was all, yeah, he was all like, this is what I needed last night, a fan. It was hot. I saw your dad's paintings, V. I didn't know he painted. Oh, thanks, brush guy, but you're not here to blow on my neck. So, I just have to make do. V is also a Cathy fan. She is also not here to blow on my neck, sadly. So, you know. Wait, wait, what? Wait, what? What? What, Dio? Chicken butt. D is switching to the computer. Dio says chicken butts are not there to blow on your neck either. You know, that's true. That's true. But you know, on a roasted chicken or turkey, you have the tail. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole chicken or turkey when it's roasted, it's got the little tail there. And when it's done enough, you just pick the tail off and eat it. It just dissolves in your mouth. It's so good. Eat it. That's almost as good as the neck. I love my neck bones. So let's desaturate this bleen color with a little bit of orange. Actually, I may have, uh, among all these colors out here on my palette from yesterday, I did use orange in, well, all of them. V is here without tablet leg. Hooray! No tablet leg! You know what's funny is my phone has less lag than my PC now, which seems really weird to me. And then, of course, when I watch the app on my TV through my Kindle Fire app, it sucks rocks, and that is the laggiest out of all of them. So I need to remix this color. More blue, lots of blue, some white, and a little bit of this orangey color to tone down the intensity, because the closer we get to her dress, I want this color, because it's bleen just like her dress, and I want it to be less intense and almost a grayish blue green, but also lighter, because yeah, so more. So this is what we've got now. This is much less intense of a color than just mixing the blue and the green plain. But I do want to have just some of the blue and the green. Hey, Nixel! V has a puppy snuffling her leg. Lucky V. How is Nixel today? Put a little bit of white in here. And you can see how intense, I hope you can see how intense this color is compared to that color. Let me get a little more white in here. So now it's close to the same value, but the saturation of this color is much better than the saturation of this color with the orange mixed in with it. Cathy was just bragging about all the. It was one. It was just one. Nixel says, I am losing my mind. Lots of challenges. I am so sorry to hear that, Nixel. You know, I painted a lot more skin on. Look. I painted all of this skin and all of this fur and the tree trunk. I mean, it's not done, but there's definitely more of it finished than there was. Oops. All you painted was booty crack and penises. Oh, hi, Trash Panda. How are you? Good afternoon. I saw the lily pads on the whale shark's head, and he looked so happy for the lily pads to be there. And now I'm sort of envisioning, you know how they do those tattoo designs of a koi fish, and then it's got, you know, lily pads and water ripples and stuff, and it looks like the koi is partly underneath the water and then part of it is sticking up out of the water. I don't know if you've seen art like that, but that's what I was thinking when I saw the lily pads on top of the whale shark's head. I was like, ooh, it could be like a whale shark tattoo with like lily pads. And anyways, so that's where my brain went with that. Oh dear, Dio says that is Cathy's new moniker. Yeah, I don't think so, Dio. I don't think that's gonna be my tagline. No. Mushrooms, Dio. We now call them mushrooms. Yeah, thanks to Max. Thanks to Max for that. Max, hey! Oh my god, Cathy's painting a mushroom. Yes, it's on my business card. Thanks, Trash Panda. The real question is, why didn't we make this harmonic earlier? You know, that is a valid question. She's. Oh god. And then the wheels came off. Cathy's, yeah, she's the boss on the RV on Harlan's Heroes. Dio says Cathy's the only person who paints mushrooms when they are not terrain. Although, they could be terrain. I'm just saying. Nixel says she doesn't lick brushes. Oh dear lord. Wow, that's. Who is this Cathy Wappel that you speak of? She seems really filthy. She's Randy. Oh my goodness. I'm just over here painting water on a model. Yeah, she's not Randy, she's Cathy. Sibstorm says, "Who is Randy?" Randy, there's a couple of people that I knew named Randy back when I was on the road. And no, just no, no. Y- Huh? So you know what's funny about that word, huh? Hun? Hun and huh are two very different words. Haha, Bandio. No, do not Bandio. Ha, you meant, yeah. Ha. I figured that's what you meant, and you weren't saying, who should I time out, hon? Yeah, Cathy Fappy, fat, hashtag Fappy Cathy doll. Yeah. Maybe, real brush guy, maybe you should time out Cathy Wappel. Maybe, maybe you just need to. Yeah. Will we have a black screen then? I don't know what happens. Yeah, if you time her out, she might paint something. Hey, I was painting. Look, I have colors on my palette. There's water. No painting, only distraction. Now that you're here, V. Yes, now that you're here. But I have all these pretty colors sitting here on my palette, and it seems a shame not to use them. So I think I might try and and get a little painting done. Let's mix some more blue in with that. Trash Panda says, I have paint on my palette, but I'm not painting. He says, let me take a picture of the brushes I got. Ooh, new brushes. Or new to you brushes anyways, right? Oh, why am I mixing colors with this brush? It's not my crappy mixing brush. Yeah, I was not responsible for what happened in the, uh, never mind. No one will believe it. Mixel says, my daughter has organized a drive-in movie tonight watching Finding Nemo. Oh, wow. How did she engineer that? Trash Panda says, I did achieve my goal of putting a Deadpool head on Mystique, so I'm good for today. Oh, excellent. V is most excited about the really big one. I know, V. Don't be tempted to lick it, though. That is a really big one. That would definitely make gessoing canvases easier, faster. She's working for Rotary and basically created this event from scratch. That's really cool. Hopefully with no kids. Well, it's Finding Nemo, so I mean, I would guess that people would end up bringing their kids to it. Brush guys, yeah, but you've got to beat the devil out of it from time to. You got to beat the devil out of it from time to time. Yeah, you know, you sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. It's a man who speaks from experience right there. That is the best part. Mixel says it's a drive-in. I'm hoping no kids in our car. Well, I would hope so, because how would they have gotten in there? How did these kids get in here, honey? I don't know. If it doesn't hurt a little bit, you're doing it wrong. I mean, that's what I've heard. This Tuesday did not go where I was expecting it to go. Like, I didn't really have a lot of expectations, but you know, Tuesdays are usually so very quiet. Megan's here, Megan! Oh, Megan. It's so good to see you. How are you? Sibstorm says when you have no expectations yet still let down. Oh, Sibstorm. I'm really not sorry. But look, Megan's here, so that makes it like 80 times better. I have seen the stuff Megan's been cranking out. She is rocking it. Everybody should follow Megan's Instagram. Throw a link up here, Megan, so that everybody can see the stuff that you've been doing. Do it, do it, do it now. And Trash Panda redeemed stretch, so we're gonna stretch because no one actually wants me to paint today apparently on my painting stream. So go follow Megan on Instagram, everybody. There's her link. Yeah. This always feels better. Look, look, we did the behind the, you know, just to get some different muscles. We did behind the head, you know. So we'll just raise it up there so you can see stretch. And I can feel that. I can actually feel that in so in my shoulders and in my triceps, in fact. So gosh, it's like exercising. Sibstorm says, what if I already follow Megan? Uh I don't give bonus points for that, but I'm sure she appreciates it. Maybe she gives bonus points for that. Refollow. Yep, refollow. Oh, hello there. Oh, Stretch Armstrong. He's a man's man. Ruggedly, yeah, the thinker. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, yeah, he's got the regular swim trunks. Do you see how these are? Look at this. You see how these are part of the rubber? There is no way that that's coming off, right? It's part of the skin. Whereas on small stretch, it's we're going to examine the crotch here. It's painted on. It was just painted on. So every time I stretch it, the paint peels. Look at this. It's I just that's just how that happened. I find it serendipitous myself. Such a supple jawline. The trouser is tattooed on. Strip. He has to burn punk. He is Strip Armstrong. Yes. Henceforward, he will not be small stretch. He will be Strip Armstrong. That's perfect. All right, so I have this light color. I have this darker color. I want to do my darker colors first. I have this darker color, and I wanted to do this up near the dress. But I want it to be a little more watery, so we're going to separate some of this out from the other pile of it and add water. Strip Armstrong. I think this is another week where I will be painting in the evenings since I'm not getting anything done. Megan says, are you still liking oils better than acrylics, or do you like to swap? Megan, I like to swap. And right now it's acrylics. Trash Panda says, does anyone know why my cat likes to drink paint water? It's really not strange, Trash. It isn't strange. Everybody's cats likes to drink paint water. Am I right, everybody? Everybody's cats like to drink paint water. Cats are weird. It's not strange. I mean, I don't know why they do it. Well, I mean, cats in general are strange. Who can know what they're thinking? Megan has to put tinfoil over her cups. I no longer have a cat, so I haven't had to worry about that in a while. I feel like this is almost the same color as the previous color that I was using. Oh well. It's fine. It'll all work out once I throw some highlights on there. And that's always the thing to think about is, is not, wow, this doesn't look like I wanted it to. It's, you know what? I'm going to be throwing highlights on here, so that's going to change everything. So we'll worry about it after we do highlights. And if it still looks weird, then we can change things. But there's no point in worrying about how your midtones look. So you've got some light colors in there as well. Because, yeah, those highlights, you're going to be glazing that. Well, Maybe you aren't going to be glazing that in, but I'd be glazing it in. I'd be glazing some colors in, and that would subtly change, everything. I mean, some people glaze, some people don't glaze, and that's fine. Not everybody paints the exact same way. If we all did, everything would look the same, and it would be boring. Am I right? Like, you've seen it. Ones where you can tell people who all kind of paint in the same style. Technically perfect, and yet not individual. Alright, so this definitely still looks very different than the green, I'm happy to say. Trash says, we've had Ashoka for 2 years and she is just learning she can be my painting assistant. Painting assistant in quotes. V says, Bleen. Yes, V, you weren't here when I started mixing it. Absolutely. It's a few different shades of Bleen we've got going here. Plus, mixed a little bit of yesterday's paint, which is sort of red orange kind of. I used the clear red, magenta, and yellow, the golden yellow in here, and a little bit of orange, clear orange, to make most of these colors. So that was kind of the perfect thing to add to this to try and mute the bleen down a little bit. Trash has posted a link. Oh yeah, aw, such painting assistant, so helpful. So helpful. You could do a lot of fine freehand with those whiskers, Cat. Oh, so cute. Such a good assistant. Okay, now let's throw some of that lighter color on here. Get our lighter highlights going. Just on the upper edges of these waves. So that we can bring back this curly Q detail that was sculpted in. And we'll go just straight white, I think, on a few parts. Maybe. Or really close, like off-white. It all depends on how the mood strikes us. Don't paint her dress like water, Cathy. I have an underside of a wave here that is still light colored and it should be dark colored. So we fix that. And now that's fixed. Maybe I don't need to go all the way down to the street level with my light color. I can just go part way down. And it will seem like there's shading going down on some parts, and then we go all the way down on other parts. Did anybody else do anything fun over the weekend? I know it's Tuesday, but I haven't seen any of you since, well, a few of you I saw on Sunday night during our podcast. And then, of course, Sunday night, Harlan's Heroes. We raided into the Pyro Club because they do a Monster of the Week RPG there every Sunday night, and I love to show up for the second half of that. I always miss the first half of it, but it's always fun to catch the second part of it. And what a fun ride that was. Sibstorm says it was my birthday on Saturday. Oh, happy birthday! Like 3 days late. I can count. Let's see, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 3. See, I can count. And you mowed the yard. That was your birthday present to you, mowing the yard? So lucky. And then we named the RV Cathy. Yeah, yeah. The RV was named Cathy, and that's when the wheels came off in chat, so to speak. So to say. Oh, I don't know if I've laughed so hard just being in the chat. Like, ever. That hard. Oh my god, I was dying. It was ridiculous. I'm just mixing up a little more my light blue color, my light bleen. It was so wrong, V. It was so wrong, but it was so right. And it's funny because I think at some point people were just watching you guys up on the screen just to see if you would notice what was being written in the chat. Because you guys were trying so hard to just ignore that and just keep the story going, which you did a good job with. I always feel so lost when I come in there halfway through, and so much has happened since the week before. It was so wrong, but it was also exactly right. It was. It really was. You feel so lost all the time. Okay, that's okay. I don't feel so bad then. I was just so happy that Rathu made a random appearance on Sunday night. Because, we haven't seen him in a long time. So that was very cool. And I just refer to him now as the King of Norway. Hashtag not really a king, obviously. It is bedtime there. Okay, brush guy. You must follow the call. Rest your head. Süße Traum. Traum. Yeah, I'll never get that. I will. I will get that. Someday I will get that. Schlaf gut. I need a lighter, lighter, lighter color. Way more white. Thank you, brush guy. We will have more fun. I'll have more fun. I hope everybody else will have more fun. You have a good night. Sleep sweet. And I'm just going to finish this base. Do I need even more white in this color? This is such a light color and I feel like I need even more white. And I will get more. I think I will go in with, once I'm done with this particular highlight, I am going to go in with just straight up white and just do some dots of white in just a few strategic areas. Because sometimes doing highlights isn't about doing highlights all over the whole thing. It's just doing very targeted, small highlights in a few select areas for best effect. I could have just painted this one flat highlight, but instead I'm doing a few little dots, and that's giving that more of an illusion of depth and texture on that little area there. Whoops. I knew I was going to do that. That's part of the dress. So I have green here. I'll just throw a little green on there, and instantly it goes back to being part of the dress. When you have all the colors that you're using on the entire model out in front of you, it's so much easier to fix a little mistake like that. V says, a puppy was playing frisbee, now he is licking me. Aww. I miss puppy licks. Little puppy kisses. Big puppy kisses. We had a dog, we had a Brittany, years and years ago. And he used to lick my toes. Like I'd just be sitting there with my bare feet in front of me like you do, at home in the summertime. And he would just come up and lick my toes and just lick the toes and like he was giving it a bath. Trash Panda says, I love dogs, but dog kisses are the worst. It's like I don't even know you anymore. Who are you? Dog kisses are the worst. We don't need your kind here. Get out. Dog kisses are the worst. That's heresy. Slobber. Well, slobber, there are some dogs that they do the slobber. We never had one of those kind of dogs that has the huge slobbering strings of, you know. I've known some dogs like that, and I've gotten slobbered on by some dogs like that, and I can understand how people might not like the slobbery part. But the puppy kisses part is different. It's a doodle and her beard gets wet and nasty. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, she's a great dog and you love her. Of course you do. Of course you do. I have personally made the choice when picking a dog to pick a dog that doesn't do the drooling jowls thing or the, you know, super super furry wet face thing. Although I have had the cat uh be so fascinated by the dog drinking out of his water dish and the cat's just standing right there, and then the dog is done drinking and licks the top of the cat's head. So then the whole top of the cat's head is just wet with dog water. And then he comes over and sticks it in my face. Because cats, of course. I've had that happen, and that's, amusing. Hey, Danny. How are you today, Danny? Tonight, this evening? So we did shift directions with the base of this. It's all watery now, whereas it was airy before, and I feel pretty good about how we did it. Feel pretty good about it. I'm going to mix up some more bleen with no white in it so that it's totally clear, not transparent, but free of any other pigments. Just the green and the blue. Mostly blue. Mostly blue, come on. But with no white. You can see how thin this looks compared to these other colors where I mixed white in with it. It's going to be nice and saturated, and I'm going to just put some around the base of the water around this, like not all the way up the water. Oh, Danny, I don't do Transformers. That's a John. That's a John thing for when John is streaming or for our podcast. I don't own any Transformers. Although people want to send me Transformers, I will transform them. I just don't have any. But you know what? In lieu of transforming, I can do a stretch. I can do stretching if that's okay, because now I feel bad. I know it's just fun. I will stretch for you though. Hello, Danny. I'm Stretch. We're here to work those arms. Nixel says she prefers if you send her mannequins. I'm not going to transform mannequins on stream. That would be awkward. I do feel like I could have a business where I transform mannequins like for order, like as art. We just take a mannequin and add stuff to it. Maybe on paint night. No, but if it's an actual mannequin, do you know how difficult that would be? Because those are big. I mean, they're life size. Yeah, I totally can feel this in my triceps and my forearms, my elbows, my shoulders. Feels good. Thanks, Danny. I need to look at dog pictures because Trash Panda's posted dog pictures. Oh, a dog. Such cute. And now I need another dog. Oh, yeah, so cute. So fluffy. You could have just got a golden retriever. You realize that. Is that what they... Wait, is a Labradoodle is like a black lab poodle? Black lab poodle mix? I don't even know. It's fine. I don't need to know all these things. I glanced up and I thought But she's a golem. A golem. Which actually makes it funnier. And then I'm like, she's a goddamn. A golem doodle. A golem doodle. Well, I was thinking like Gollum, like Gollum, but I was thinking golem, like, ancient, ancient Jewish, you know, a creature that can be summoned, that's built out of clay. All right, so this is the bleen color. This is the bleen that doesn't have any white in it, and it's just straight up. Oops. I knew I would eventually get a little bit on the base, but that's okay. It cleans up easy. So this being so translucent, I'm able to get it on here, and it still leaves the values that I've been working with intact. Just glazing some thin glazes of this around the bottom edges. And then I'm going to go in with that white, like I was saying, and do a few little dots of white in a few places. I feel like I need to bring up some shading in the crevices again. Like a couple places it seems like I lost some shading. So we'll bring some of that back. I think it's just this one place right here that seems like it's hard. It doesn't look like it would be hard to get to with the brush, but I seem to not be getting paint in there somehow. And right there. Okay, now am I ready for doing white? I think so. I think we're ready for white now. Oh, Trash Panda is cooking. Time to lurk, and I missed that, so. That's fine. Alright, so I'm just doing straight up white now. He says, I have returned from chasing a puppy around. Happy puppy. Happy chasey puppy. I'm just starting with just throwing some little dots of white, a little bit of spray, a little bit of reflected light. Few dots here and there, not even whole lines. Just a suggestion. Just a suggestion of some shapes. And that's going to give way more depth to the water. This being so much lighter. These tiny areas of really light color, or light value rather, will be making all the darker colors even more dark. I did almost paint the dress again. And I did get a little on the base there, but I was able to rinse that off. I didn't want to get white on the bricks. Now I'm just making sort of white lines on the top of this little wave to make it look like there's this texture, just like it did with some parts of the hair, to give it a little added texture. We're just going to go right across the top of this part though, with some white, a nice strong white there. And another one right here. Okay. Did I make it all the way around? Let's take a look. Do I need to reinforce? We'll just reinforce those little ones there. Just add a little more white to a few of these. And that's just going to add this extra bit of contrast. It's going to make this all look a bit more flowing. Like it has a bit more volume to it. And I think I still want to even put more blue down towards the bottom. I'm doing well, thanks, Danny. I'm happy. Having fun with streaming. I need to mix a little more of this blue-green color again, because I didn't make very much before. This time it's going to be more blue. So we've got some layers. We've been glazing a little bit here and there, kind of building up the layers, which can only be a good thing. I know there's people who want to just put a color on something and then not go back to it. Or they want to do the thing where it's like, I have a base color, I have a shadow, I have a highlight, or I have a shadow, I have a midtone, I have a highlight, and they don't want to do anything else with it, which is fine, especially if you're doing wet blending between those. But that's just not how I do it. I just like to I like to splash on a lot of different glazes. I don't know why. It's just what I like to do. There's nothing wrong about wet blending either. I've done plenty of that too. So I am knocking a few of these highlights back down again. Add a little water into this. And just darkening it down where it meets the base again. I'll leave that white stuff right there though. So again, the stuff towards the top part are going to be brighter again for the most part. We'll just let that dry a little, and then we're going to do some more on that of the same thing. Yeah, I'm just waving this back and forth so that it will dry faster. Because with the clear paints, if I'm doing a thin glaze and I want to build up the saturation of a color or the darkness or the opacity in some way, then the layer underneath has to be dry before I put more on. Alright, so we're going to go in. Give this a little bit more of this bright bleen color, as we were saying. It is a bleen that's different from her dress. Her dress is a green blue. The water is a blue green. And I've been trying to keep it different. Alright, so now it's definitely got that water vibe. This is Cathy, Danny. I have been here, but I'm also watching a Bones 5 unboxing. Who? Is it Trouble? Is Trouble streaming? I figured. So, Shorks and Ships? This is Cathy. I brought home a grandma. Grandma painting! Oh, lucky. Grandma paintings are best. I will look at it. Oh, that's pretty. Wow. Wow. That's poppies, right? Oh, that's beautiful. It's so delicate. And the poppies really look papery. Like the petals. That's so sweet. My grandma also paints, or has painted. Did used to paint. She's pretty much blind now, which is sad, but she back in the day she did paint. And she does have some paintings on her wall. Now she has now she has a picture because she turned 100 this year, and Jim thought it would be really cool to paint a picture from a photograph of my grandma and grandpa when they got married. I can show you a picture of it though. I think I have a picture. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if I can find picture. Cathy images. This is where we go wading through all the folders. There it is. Okay. Now I have to remember how to do display capture. So this is the picture of my grandma and grandpa when they got married. Or is it right when it was right before they got married or right after they got married. They they got married during the war. Um World War II. And grandpa was Marine and he was wounded, and he came into San Diego, where my grandma was a wave, and that's how they met. And 3 months later, they got married. It's not the picture of the painting. That's the actual photograph. But yeah, he did paint a portrait of that. So, yeah. V says my grandma will be 104 in August, is basically blind and sleeps 20 hours a day. Yeah, yeah. Did she have macular degeneration? My grandma still tells stories about her and grandpa and her and her brothers. So I think she's done now. You can her base stuff looks like water now. So, yay. Not macular degeneration. Okay, just old eyes. Acid burn punks is honestly a little jealous of your grandmothers. They and my great grandma, my grandma's mom, she lived to be 90. So at least 90. 90 something, I think. They're very long lived. And my grandma's sister turned 100 the year before, and then thank you COVID, she she broke her hip, and then she was put in a nursing home while she was convalescing. And we all know what teeming, germing hell pits nursing homes are now, thanks to COVID. And so, of course, she got it. And that was that. So, yeah, she lost her sister last year. Acid Burn says, I think my grandmother made it to 86, but wasn't herself when she lost my grandfather. That is so sad. I could see it being just so difficult. I mean, when you've been with somebody for so long and then they're gone, what do you do? You know? V says my grandma didn't get COVID. The place where she was when it started and where she moved during, both those places were super, 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 super careful. That's good. All right, so hair. We were working on hair last week with her on Thursday. So I'd like to return to painting hair on her. We are going to get some golden yellow out. Yeah, a lot of nursing, even when they are less than terrible, they still, like, there's people that work at a bunch different, so they go from one to another, and they just weren't being careful enough. I'm glad your grandma was in a good one, or a good two. But yeah, yeah, B's grandma, who's 104, and my grandma, who's 100 years old, both got vaccinated. And so I don't get what there is to be afraid of. Acid Burn Punk says, yeah, they got married when she was 16. I proposed with her 55 anniversary ring because it was both our birthstones and I couldn't afford it. Oh, that's so sweet. Ironically, gets. Oh, Gwen's finger is exact same size? Well, that's perfect. That's cool. B says there was one in New Hope that was in the news where, like, everyone got it. Ugh. Yeah. I feel like it's just lucky now that, nursing homes where people didn't get it, where they actually were careful enough. Maybe those are nursing homes where they actually pay the people that work there a decent enough wage where they don't have to go other places that are less careful and then transmit it from one place to another. I don't know. I'm just a communist, though. So, what do I know? I don't know anything. I'm just mixing yellow with white. Hello, Angry Ham. Go to Kvel. I will always say it that way. I can't help it. Kvela. I have I have noticed Misco? Misco, you must have been lurking too. What did you just both show up at the same time? I get all my Swedes now. Now I'm complete. How are you? How are you, Misco? How are you, Angry Ham? Angry Ham has 4 weeks left of work in the restaurant. And you had a session tonight, so now you're really chill. Oh, sweet. Must have gone well. Okay, so I have some yellow white. I have a nice light yellow white color, and I can do highlights with that, I think. It is not lemony yellow, so that's good. Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna put any magenta in with it. No, I think I'll just leave it as is. You pulled 80% of it out of your behind? Don't worry, V. I'm going to glaze in some magenta all by itself after I get done with these highlights. Rest assured, there will be magenta. And also, there already is magenta in this hair, believe it or not. Because, of course, I cannot do the blonde hair, without putting magenta in it. But for my highlight, no. So, no wonder you're feeling really chill. You got all that stuff out of your behind, Angry Ham. That must feel better. It's always nice when you can just relax your bowels. Ham says Ham is on hiatus for 4 weeks since the schedule is a thing. Yeah. All right, let's throw some highlights in here real quick before we. Yeah, I definitely. You know what? I feel like I need a little smidge of purple just to. This is a really intense yellow, and I think it needs to be less intense. So, what do we do when we want to make something less intense, less saturated? We want to desaturate it. We're going to use the opposite color, the complementary color. In this case, the complementary color of yellow is purple. The complementary color of yellowish is purplish. Hey, Pat Draws, don't use tents. Wait, what are we doing without tents? Why are we not using tents, Pat? Trash Panda says magenta is always the answer though. That's true. I can't argue that. That is 100% correct. Make things less intense. Oh, I'm slow. I did not see that one, Pat. Thank you for painting me a picture. I appreciate it. Make things less intense. Yep. So a tiny bit of purple. How are you, Pat? How have you been? What was your weekend like? Do anything fun? I did fun things on the weekend. In addition to, being utterly filthy in a couple of different chats. Oh, you worked weekends, so no fun. No fun was to be had. But you're better now, right? You were off today and you're waiting for your D&D stream to come on, and you might start a new mini. Okay. What new mini are you considering? Ham says, got mini that I'm planning to give to my niece as it represents her character. Oh, that's always fun. Pet dresses mini me. Oh, don't even get me started on those jokes again. We covered that earlier today. I mean, not you specifically. Just got some titanium white to put out. This is my titanium white. This is just a big old tube of artist acrylic titanium white, and I just squeeze that out on the palette. You can see here how much thicker that is than all of the other colors, all the other paint. The specially formulated miniature paint that's so much thinner, and that's super thick. So I didn't know you had a mini you, like a miniature of you. Wait, wait, this is the one with the mutton chops, right? But you have to stream painting that. You have to stream painting that. That would be the perfect stream. I mean, I guess you don't have to stream painting the entire thing, but it would be cool. I haven't noticed you streaming in a while, though. Have you been streaming lately and I'm just missing it? I may just be missing it. You don't like streaming mini? Oh, that's fair. I haven't streamed in ages. Work isn't conducive to free streaming times. Okay. Yeah, streaming minis isn't. Depends on what you're trying to get out of it. Like, if you're trying to actually finish models, you can either focus on your models and not pay attention to the chat, or you can pay attention to the chat and then just paint really slow. So, or you can be like Jim, who talks the whole time and paints the whole time and still somehow manages to finish like 10 models in a night. I don't know. I just don't ask me how that happens. I don't know. Nixel says, or get it to start reading to you. Simstorm says, James has that paint chat balance down. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he is teaching. He is a teaching stream. I can like explain things that I'm doing, but I'm not a teacher. I am so very much not a teacher. Misko says, well, some got skills, and then there's you, Cathy. That's exactly correct. Yes, Misko. V is lurking to plan dinner. Have a good dinner, V. Have a good evening. See you later. Nixel says, I think Jim is from the future and his wired reflexes. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. That is probably correct. Okay, so highlights on the hair. Such tiny hair. So little highlights. So I am making these brush strokes in the direction of the hair, even though I'm not always hitting exactly where the texture is sculpted in. And that's just part of painting hair. As long as you do brush strokes in the direction of, where all of the hair textures are, then you can disguise the fact that you're missing some of them. And it will end up giving you even more of that illusion of texture. I wanted more highlight close to her face right there. And then this area where the hair falls like onto the shoulder, so it's kind of facing up a little, and then we just leave this part in shadow. So tiny. The details on this one. Oh no, my mods are gone. Oh, sorry, Ham. Did I take that away before you could click on the link? Secretly, he's a chronomancer. That's possible. Although I feel like to be a painter and a chronomancer, I just need Streamlabs to be. Yeah, that's not gonna happen, Trash. I know, Angry Ham. Now you'll never be famous. You'll always just be mediocre, just like the rest of us. Misko says, do you want to be less famous? Then join the minionhood of the Overlord Misko. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on being less famous. Angry ham. You're welcome. I'm just over here painting and pretending as if I know things. Like how to paint hair, stuff like that, you know. So now that I've done highlights up on the top of her head, I'm just going to go in and fill in the shadows just right at the top of her head. I'm just going to fill that in a little. It's going to be a challenge for me to get the brush into this place that's under her arm. Well, let's approach this from the back first. All right. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Romancing the Cron was your favorite action movie. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good one. What about the sequel, Romancing the Necro? Did I just see that right, Sibstrom? You're about to be relatively famous at your house? Well, I mean, that's really the only place it matters, right? At the end of the day. I thought that these little things on the side of her head were ears at first when I first saw the model, but they just look like little braids in her hair. So that's how I'm painting them. So there's a little bit more volume in her hair. You see how up at the top it definitely has more of a light to dark gradient there than it does down here. Pat Draws says, I heard the sequel was kind of dead. Good night, Trash Panda. Have a good evening. Have a good dinner with the family. Oh, it's past, it's supper time. It's supper time here. I'm just gonna finish this highlight on the hair before I go. Since I have this paint going, we're not gonna just stop. And this is always that time where I'm like, ooh, I need to finish this so that I can go eat. So then I pay a little bit less attention to the chat than I normally do, and end up concentrating more on the painting. Still, I'm trying to sort of imagine that there's this line going across here, and that's where this highlight is going. But the hair does take some ridiculous turns in the on the model. And that's a thing that I noticed right away. This how it just kind of like they didn't know what to do here with the digital sculpting of it. Whoever it was who sculpted it, whoever who works for Raging Heroes. I mean, overall, this model is really amazing. There's only a few tiny areas like that where I'm just like, wow, what were they thinking? And only this little part of the hair, I think, is the only thing on this model that's like that, which is pretty good. I do like their stuff. Their art has always been amazing. I definitely want this part of the hair that's kind of facing up to have more light color. But then I also want just a little ridiculous highlight way down here. And you know this part's going to be in shadow, but you know what? We're just going to throw some ridiculous highlight down here anyways, so that I can catch some of these details that, you know, would get lost otherwise. That's artistic license. So much hair on this. Who decided it was going to be a good idea to paint hair at the very last minute? Oh, yeah, I can get this hair all done before in less than 20 minutes. Sure, is what I'm sure I said to myself. And almost done. I think. I hope. I think. Tonight is pizza bread for supper. It's Red Baron and it's French bread with pizza toppings on it. So it's like pizza, but it's not pizza. But it tastes like pizza, but it's on French bread and it's delicious. Here's one of those places where I add an extra little line of texture on a smooth surface of the model. Right down the middle here. Right down the middle of that. Do a little edge highlighting right there. Again, we're taking artistic license with the hair that's down in the shadows because I just want the little bit of the detail to come out in that. And now we're back up here. Where we started. And then we'll water the brush down. Get some water on there. And I'm going to take downward strokes and go across this area here, and we're going to get down into some of the recesses. And what that's going to do is lighten up the shadows in that area. It's not going to be a totally opaque light color, and I don't want it to be. It's just going to lighten the shadows up in that area a little bit. But there will still be shadows there, which is also what I want. Oh, I didn't do that little part. Or this little part. Well, there's a couple things I missed on here. So I was rushing through. And I do want to do the same thing across this top area here. With that light color, that light sort of watery color. Get that down into the recesses here. It's gonna make it look a little smoother. We'll do that over here too, and then, oh, and then we'll do it down here too. I was like, and then we'll be done, but no, we'll do it down here too. We almost done. I thought I was done. All right. Are we done now? Are we done? Can I go eat? No, Cathy, you cannot ever go eat. I'm gonna stay here and paint forever. Forever. Angry Hams, it's time to hug the pillow. Have a great night, folks. Go not Angry Ham. And that is the done part where I finished with the hair. Now I can go eat food. So let us see who's streaming. And we can raid somebody. Trouble is doing her bones unboxing. So we should go watch that. We should go watch that. Right? Hey, happy heretic. Oh my goodness. You just came in right as I'm about to raid Trouble. She's doing an unboxing of bones. So we're going to head over there. But thank you for coming by to say hi. Happy heretic. Hey, Miyabi. Nice to see you. Everybody, you all have a good night too. And I will be doing this again tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. Central. There will be more as we try and finish up this the Raging Heroes model. We'll just try and get that one out of the way, and then we'll just knock off the other one. So everybody say hello to Trouble in her chat and give her a follow if you're not following her already. Take care. Bye-bye.